I have a plan to peacefully, wipe out some of the life, and let's talk about this, let's study this, and let's get the charts, and maybe I can work with the Avengers so that they can understand what it is I'm trying to do instead of no, I'm here to kill you and then wipe out half of life in the universe. Hey Marvel fans, welcome to my channel. I'm Trey Guillotine, and today I can't keep it quiet. I have to talk about Avengers Infinity War. So this is a warning. If you have not seen Avengers Infinity War yet, then do not watch this video. This is a huge spoiler warning. I will be talking about spoilers. I can't keep it in. I have to talk about it as soon as possible. So if you have not seen Avengers Infinity War, do not watch this video. Turn around now. Go watch something else. Don't watch this video. If you're gone, all right, so let's get into this, and I hate to say that I was right. This is one of those times where I really hate that I was right. I wasn't right about everything. A lot of my speculations were off, but I was right about some pretty big things. So starting off, let's talk about the deaths that we had in this movie. Some of the deaths I was right about. A lot of the other deaths I was wrong about. I thought Drax and Nebula were going to die. I really thought that Captain America and Iron Man were going to die in this movie. I was wrong. What I was right about, unfortunately, was Vision, which, I mean, let's kind of face it, we kind of expected Vision was going to be dying in this movie since he had the Mind Stone, even though the Avengers did everything they possibly could to get the Mind Stone out of Vision without killing Vision, but they did not have enough time, and Thanos got the Mind Stone, and it killed the Vision, unfortunately. And that was definitely, and that was definitely like the theme and purpose of this movie, is that this is the time that the Avengers are going to do everything in their power to win, and they won't. This was meant to be the darkest time yet for this story. This is the time that the Avengers don't win, and that's what happened here, and it's what happened with Vision. They did not have time to safely take the Mind Stone and destroy it. The other death I was right about, very unfortunately, but I literally just, I was right spot on about everything that happened with this death, was Loki. I knew that he wasn't getting off that ship. I knew that was going to be something in the beginning. He was going to offer the Tesseract, and then Thanos was going to kill him. And I saw that coming so many miles away, and I hate that I did, because Loki has been such a strong character. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, it was like, no, anyone who died is going to come back, and I don't think that's entirely true. I think the deaths that we saw happen, that we saw them get killed, Loki getting his neck snapped, the Vision losing the Mind Stone and dying, like the characters that we saw die, even God forbid Gamora, who we saw die, the people that we saw die, they're not coming back, maybe except for Gamora, but I'm going to talk about that later. Whereas the people that we saw die because they vanished at the end of the movie when Thanos achieved his goal, those characters, I think it's safe to say that they are coming back. Those characters are coming back, especially since some of the Avengers who died, we know have a confirmed sequel in their midst. We know there's a Spider-Man Homecoming 2. We know there's a Black Panther 2. We know that there's a Doctor Strange 2 that is in the works. Those characters, I think, are definitely coming back. But the characters that we saw die, I think, are going to stay dead, except for maybe Gamora, and that's only because I think that it wasn't so much because Thanos basically sacrificed Gamora to get the Soul Stone, and it was an amazing scene. I don't think anyone predicted where the Soul Stone was going to be and who had the Soul Stone. Red freaking Skull. Red Skull is out there. Red Skull is alive, and somehow when he was dumped on that planet with the Soul Stone, he became the guardian of the Soul Stone. However that's going to work now, if Red Skull is going to return to Earth and be a villain, we don't know, but Red Skull is alive. When Thanos sacrificed Gamora, because he had to sacrifice something he truly loved to attain the Soul Stone, I think that the thing that powers the Soul Stone is the soul that is sacrificed. So I think Gamora's soul is actually in the Soul Stone, and that getting her out of the Soul Stone will render it inert, will make the Soul Stone not exist anymore. And not only would it save Gamora, but I think it would be a big part of undoing the power that the Soul Stone did, and it would just happen to save Gamora. That is a very distant theory that I just kind of have. I think that's something that's going to happen. Again, I could be totally wrong, just like there were some things in this movie I was totally wrong about. The other thing I was unfortunately right about, and I'm sure there are other people who figured this as well, I strongly had a feeling that Thanos was going to win in this movie. I knew, like, this movie is meant to be the darkest time for the Avengers yet, and that as much as the Avengers fight and try, that they were going to lose this war. They were going to lose to Thanos. Thanos was going to achieve his goal and just vanish half the life in the universe. But focusing on Thanos, that it's been said before that this is a very Thanos-centric movie, and they're absolutely right. The story of the movie was set with Thanos. The story of the Avengers and all the other events surrounding it, we've already seen those stories in the 10 years building up to this moment. But Thanos had the actual plot of the story following him. You could even say that Thanos was the actual protagonist of this movie. He wasn't the hero, he wasn't the good guy, he was definitely the villain, but from a script structure standpoint, Thanos was the protagonist. It was his moves, it was what he was doing and his actions that was moving the story forward, that was moving the story towards gathering the Infinity Stones, and that the Avengers were also the antagonists, not the villains. They were definitely the good guys of this story, but they were the antagonists of the story, as everything they did was trying to stop Thanos from moving the story forward, was from moving toward his ultimate goal, from vanishing half the life in the universe. And so many things have been said about Thanos from the directors, from the actor, Josh Brolin himself, that Thanos has a capacity for love, that Thanos is the most reasonable and understanding guy in this movie. And on some level, I get that. And it's what makes him a good character. He had real world motives. He had real world motives and plans for what he was trying to do. Like, he saw his planet succumb to overpopulation. He saw the resources dwindle and the people on the planet like cling and fight over what resources were left. And he was able to survive that, and then everything he does and everything he did since was in purpose of getting rid of half the life in the universe so that each planet could thrive. Like, he talks about that with Gamora's planet, that he wiped out half the population of that planet. And now, 20 years later, that planet is thriving. That planet has food and resources for everyone because half the life has been wiped out on that planet. And again, I see where he's coming from. I see the plans in motion. I can see the strings that he connected to make his ultimate goal. And definitely, but I don't think that makes him the most understanding character. It makes him... He truly believes that what he's doing is the right thing. The thing that kind of, in my opinion, turns Thanos from, an understanding character to just a completely, truly evil person who truly believes that the evil things he is doing is the right thing to do for the greater good, that he thinks he's the one that has to make the hard choices, to do the things that other people won't do, that he has to be the one to do them. Like, he basically based his life around wiping out half of life in the universe so that there could be balance, so that there could be resources for everyone else that is left so that planets can thrive. And I'm not saying that his plan wouldn't have worked. I'm not saying that his plan of wiping out half the life in the universe, that in the future, in 20 years down the line, these planets who lost half their populations wouldn't be thriving. I'm not saying that wouldn't happen. What I'm saying is that in his journey to wipe out half the life in the universe, he sought the Infinity Stones. The 6 stones that brought together, you can do literally whatever you want with them. You can, with literally the snap of your fingers, wipe out half the life in the universe. The problem lies with that once he committed himself to finding the Infinity Stones, he was still committed to wiping out half the life in the universe. He was still committed to death. He was still committed to loss. When instead, why did he not change his thinking to, I have the Infinity Stones, I can do literally whatever I want with them. Why cut the life of the universe in half instead of, with the Infinity Stones, because you can do whatever you want with them, creating more resources, like doubling the resources of the universe so that you're not losing life, you're creating more life to help sustain the life that's already there. That, in my opinion, is where Thanos draws the line at being a understanding or reasonable or good character, is that he gathered the Dragon Balls, he rubbed the magic lamp, he had the power to do literally anything. He, for a moment, for the end of the movie, he had the power to literally do whatever he thought was right, and he was still committed to ending half the life in the universe, not doubling the resources to help the life in the universe. He was still committed to death. He was still committed to destruction. And that is where, for me, the understanding goes away. That is where the understanding stops. That is where I no longer, not that I saw Thanos as an understanding character before, like, even before the Infinity Stones, he was murdering, he was torturing. Like, he wasn't, going to each planet and say, I have a plan to peacefully, wipe out some of the life, and, let's talk about this, let's study this, and let's get the charts, and, maybe I can work with the Avengers so that they can understand what it is I'm trying to do, instead of, no, I'm here to kill you, and then wipe out half the life in the universe. Like, he wasn't an understanding character. He was a genocidal is the right word. He was a genocidal, egotistical maniac that I don't even think he truly had the capacity to love, only to love himself. That it was very, I don't think he truly loved Gamora. I think in his sick, twisted mind, yes, he loved Gamora, just like the Joker loves Harley. But I ultimately think that, and I mean, he sacrificed Gamora, and that's what got him the Soul Stone. So he must have loved something, but I truly believe that he believes that he loved Gamora, that in a way he loved Nebula, that he loves his children of Thanos, that he loves the universe so much he's going to wipe out half of it. I don't think there is any part of him that actually knows love, that actually knows what being a person means. He is just completely egotistical in the fact that only I'm the one that can do the hard things that the universe can't do. He's an egotistical psychopath committed to destruction, and he showed that because he easily could have made the choice to not wipe out half the life of the universe and instead double the resources of the universe so that life in the universe could thrive. But he chose destruction. He saw what he could do, and he chose destruction. And that is where he truly is. He was a good villain. He was. I admit it. He was a very good villain. He had real-world motives. He had real-world experience for those motives. But he was still the evil character. And unfortunately, Avengers Infinity War, it was always going to be the movie where evil wins. Where this is the moment where the Avengers are going to lose. The hope from this movie actually comes from, though, Doctor Strange, because in the movie, Doctor Strange says he looked at over 14 million different timelines or time parallels of how they can win this fight, and there's only one. And at the end of the movie, when he gives Thanos the time stone to save Tony Stark, he tells Tony that this was the only way. After this moment, after everyone has vanished, after there's only a few Avengers left, this is the moment where the Avengers are going to win. This is, if somehow, because of what happened, this is the moment where the Avengers are truly going to come together. And I thinking about it, I have a feeling that whatever life is left in the universe are going to be committed to trying to reverse what Thanos has done, and that they are going to join the Avengers. We know that Captain Marvel is coming in the Avengers. We know the other Avengers, we know most of the other Avengers who are going to be involved in Avengers 4, but I have a feeling that the desperate groups throughout the universe, throughout the cosmos, on Earth, S.H.I.E.L.D., the UN and government led by the Secretary of State Ross, all of these different groups are going to be behind the Avengers as they try to rewrite what Thanos has done. And rewriting is exactly what I think is going to happen. I have a feeling, just because we've seen set pictures of them kind of... It doesn't look like they're refilming the Battle of New York, but it looks like they're putting their characters back in the Battle of New York and filming scenes that happen there. Whether these are flashbacks, we don't know. But I do have a feeling, because of this, my own speculation on this is that Avengers 4 will be, Thanos won't be a big part of it. They might find Thanos in the very beginning, find out where he went. Nebula's probably going to know all of his safe havens, find out where Thanos went, and get the Infinity Stones from him, or at least find out where he scattered the Infinity Stones to the wind, because, just like Dragon Ball Z, he made his wish, and now the stones are going off in different directions of the universe, and now the Avengers are going to have to be the ones to gather the Infinity Stones, one of which being the Time Stone, which I talked about the Soul Stone being a big part of it, and possibly saving Gamora from the Soul Stone, but I think the Time Stone is going to be the key to Avengers 4, as I I think that that Avengers 4 is going to be like a time jumping kind of movie. That they're going to go through key moments in history that led to Thanos coming as he did, to maybe even going to the point where Thanos was ever born or life on Titan thrived. Whatever it is they change, I think it's going to be done to rewrite what happens at the end of Infinity War, which, as much as I hate time travel as a trope and as a just fix-all thing in television shows and movies, like it's very Doctor Who. As much as I love Doctor Who, that's something that happens a lot where they basically fix the wrong that happened by going back in time and making sure it never happened. Like, I have a feeling by the end of Avengers 4 that's exactly what is going to happen. That they are going to rewrite history, that they are going to fix events so that the Infinity War never happens. So half-life in the universe is never wiped out. So some of the events of Infinity War don't happen. Maybe that means that we will see some of the characters come back. We don't know, but I don't think we're going to see any more character deaths in Avengers 4, because this is going to be just like Avengers Infinity War was the darkest moment yet for this story. I think Avengers 4 is going to be the brightest. This is going to be when the Avengers truly succeed and save the entire universe. And I don't think we're going to see any more major character deaths in Avengers 4, except for maybe one. I have a feeling that by the end of Avengers 4, the way that they ultimately fix everything will be gathering the Infinity Stones back into what's left in the Infinity Gauntlet and someone using it to rewrite what needs to be done and what needs to be done for the Avengers to win. And I have a feeling that character by using the Infinity Stone, just like it took an immense amount of power from Thanos to use the Infinity Stone, like he was weak by the end of it, the gauntlet was burned up. Whatever effort is used to use the Infinity Stones one more time to fix life in the universe is going to kill that character. And I think that character is either going to be Iron Man or Captain America. We know that Chris Evans' contract is up after Avengers 4. We know that Chris Hemsworth's contract is up after Avengers 4. I still don't think Thor is going to die. But it could still be Captain America or Iron Man. If it's Iron Man and Iron Man dies, Captain America will still leave. And I think we won't see Captain America die. I think we'll see Captain America retire. I think he'll be like, you know what? I fought 2 lifetimes for this. It's time for him to put the shield down and let others take up the mantle and take up the fight. I think we'll see Captain America retire, which could definitely lead to seeing Captain America show up in other movies, just like Iron Man shows up in other movies. The same for Thor. I still think Thor is going to take whatever's left of Asgard, Thor and the Hulk, whatever's left of Asgard, and go off and live happily ever after. Maybe even one of the moments they fix is the destruction of Asgard, and he just reclaims Asgard as their and returns the Asgardians to home. These are all speculations. For this movie, this is definitely the darkest movie in the MCU. This is definitely the darkest time for the MCU, TV show and movie alike. And walking out of it, like walking out of Thor Ragnarok, I was so happy and I was so hyped. And walking out of Black Panther, I was so happy and so hyped. And, most of the time when I walk out of an Avengers movie or an MCU movie, I'm super excited. I'm super hyped. I want to talk about it. This movie, I walked out, and as much as I liked the movie, and I thought it was a very good movie, but as much as I liked it, I just kept thinking, I'm so glad that Ant-Man and the Wasp is the next movie to happen in June. I'm pretty sure it's in either June or July that Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out. I'm so happy that is the next movie, because I think we're going to need some action comedy to get over everything we saw in Avengers Infinity War. What did you think about Avengers Infinity War? Let me know in the comments and follow me on all the internets. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it around so others can join in the conversation. And if you want to be featured in an upcoming episode of What You Gaming On, make sure to email me what game you're playing and what you like about it at whatyougamingon@gmail.com, and your answer will be featured in an upcoming episode of What You Gaming On. And subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Thanks for watching and have fun.